Hello YouTube, this is the MaKaElectric Rebuttal channel, and thank you for joining me. This is kind of a difficult video to make because it concerns the potential of someone's health and how it's perceived and how it may be real. I don't know. For those of you who have been following MaKaElectric for some time, you know that one of the main people in his internet life is an internet personality named FTown. FTown has never really had a presence on YouTube. Why, I don't know. But he's always decided to go with an alternate way to be on the internet. And he has a channel. He's on CamZone, which of course is where the awake people go, because Monograph says that the owner of CamZone is, quote, one of us, and therefore it's a magnet for MaKaElectric. But FTown has, as you see here, a channel called Endgame World War III. And for quite a few years, this gentleman, FTown, has had quite an interesting channel that I find difficult to watch, although I've tried to expand my mind and understand some of these things that the, quote, awake people say. And through the process of osmosis, MaKa being at the bottom of the coffee maker of osmosis, he finally reaches this point where he has to latch on to someone, whether it's FTown or Monograph, whatever. He can't do it on his own. So FTown has been talking about a lot of stuff over the years, and you can look at his previous recordings. It's way too long to talk about. And I'm not going to discuss what FTown believes in specifically. But something happened the other night, and I was watching FTown, and of course MaKa was there. I came in as a guest. As you see, if you go into CamZone and go to FTown's Endgame channel, you can go in as a guest. I didn't post. I had no reason to post. I was just watching. And of course MaKa was there, and he did a few comments. And I found this episode to be quite interesting, thinking of the history that MaKa has about discussing previous instances in our history, our recent history, such as him believing that George W. Bush and the Bush government were complicit in the bringing down of the World Trade Center in 2001, and that MaKa made several videos about the Boston bombings, those two Russian or whatever kids they were that blew up near the finish line of the Boston Marathon a few years ago. You know what I'm talking about. MaKa joined in with everybody else about, no, people were not really hurt or maimed. These were crisis actors who were placed at the scene. And he said that there were videos that showed that you could see, quote, victims of the Boston Marathon bombings applying fake blood to their limbs to make it look like they were worse than, the injuries were worse than they were. I don't know if he ever really addressed the picture of the two guys who put the other guy who had both his legs blown off and the denuded bone from both legs sticking out, carrying him to the hospital. They had tied tourniquets on right below his knees to stop the bleeding. I guess MaKa thinks that was a fake picture too. Crisis actors, right? Okay. So here we are, FTown Bola, who does not have a very good view of the world. Here we are just at that time of the recording, what, 7, 8, 9 days away from the Trump inauguration, announcing that he has cancer. He announced that he had nerve-ending cancer that started out as microscopic dots that the doctors could see in x-rays or MRIs or whatever, and that had grown bigger. And I'm thinking, does MaKa really believe this? Even though he was commenting in the comment section here, "I love you, brother, I'll always be with you." But FTown made a specific point to point out MaKa and said, "You've always been with me. You've always been with me, brother." And I thought, wait a minute. Even though MaKa is saying, "I love you, brother, I'll pray," I can't say I'll pray for you. I don't think MaKa prays to anybody. But you're in my thoughts, that he likes to say about his fake things about firefighters who died and stuff. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. In the back of his mind, why isn't MaKaElectric thinking that FTown has come to some kind of negotiation with the powers that be? That with Trump taking over, he can now move underground. In Sandy Hook, in the World Trade Center, in the Boston bombings, MaKa is all about these people aren't dead, they've moved underground for some reason. So I challenge MaKaElectric. Why isn't FTown moving underground? Could it be that this whole cancer thing with FTown is a crisis actor situation? That FTown isn't really sick. He's decided to tune in and tune out like Timothy Leary. And maybe by pointing out, FTown said, I was watching, he said, "You know, MaKa, I've never done YouTube. It's just not my thing. But I respect," I'm paraphrasing, "I respect what you've done on YouTube." Maybe he was giving MaKa a specific message. That although I haven't been on YouTube, you should continue. Keep doing what you're doing. Even though I may not be here. And maybe what FTown didn't say was, because I'll be underground. Maybe FTown feels he can't deal with Donald Trump. And was telling MaKa in so many words, "I've become a crisis actor. I'm being taken underground." And maybe the cancer is not what it seems to be. How many times has MaKa, without any evidence whatsoever, said, "No, these people aren't dead. They've been taken underground"? Well, MaKa, think about it. Maybe FTown is being taken underground. Here I'm putting your words back in your court. Prove me wrong. Now, that's the MaKa FTown world. No, not so much FTown, I'll say MaKa world, okay? The MaKa Monty world. Here's what I hope is true. Here's what I hope is true. I hope FTown does have cancer. That it's true. I hope FTown can beat it. I hope it's early enough for him and the doctors he has to beat this. He said these tumors were microscopic, but they've grown up a little bit. I hope to God, I hope to fucking God, it's something he can beat and he can live to be 100 years old and see his grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I truly hope that. But for MaKa, I have to tell you, What if it's not true? What if what I hope is not true? And FTown is telling you in so many words, in an encrypted way, he's going underground because he has cancer. Because Donald Trump and the New World Order might be taking over. That's something I can't answer, but it's something MaKaElectric has talked about for 8 fucking years. And now it's staring him in the face. He has to decide.